Yankee Stadium was built May 5th, 1922. That would be the year that Nat Flasher would create his prestigious Ring magazine. It would also be the year that Gene Tunney would lose his America's Light Heavyweight Championship belt to the future middleweight champion, Harry Gleb. To this day, the seating capacity is 72,000. And between 1922 and 1923, it would be named the Yankee Ballpark. Now, the ballpark is located today east 161st Street and River Avenue. And the Yankees were playing at 155th Street and Edgecombe Avenue in 1913 at the New York Giants Polo Grounds. Before having controversy between the two teams, the Yankees began looking for a new home. They would start at 225th Street and Kingsbridge Avenue. This is located in the Bronx, 1909. 1920, Babe Ruth would come to the organization and help draw 1.3 million fans to the Polo Grounds. More people began siding with the New York Yankees. And this would give reasons for the Yankees to become independent. 1921, the Yankees won their first American League pennant. The World Series at the New York Giants, in the 8 games, those games were played at the Polo Grounds. Between 1923 and 1988, the left field line had moved 257 feet to 318 feet. 1921, the Yankees purchased 10 acres of land at the price of $675,000 from a estate of William Waldorf. The 74,000 crowd showed up on the day of 1923 against the Boston Red Sox. Now, boxing would become a well-known place for the Yankee Stadium. All credits would be given to Joe Louis, because Mike Jacobs would realize this would be a very good location to house Joe Louis's fights, because Madison Square Garden could not fulfill the amount of people and ticket sales as Yankee Stadium would. Now, Ray Robinson fought Kid Gavilan. He fought him Thursday, 23rd September, 1948. That fight was on the undercard of Trenton's lightweight champion, Ike Williams, when he faced Jesse Flores. Jesse Flores was a former Sugar Ray Robinson opponent. And Ike Williams was a vicious banger who knocked out great fighters such as Bojack of Augusta, Georgia. He would knock him out in 1948. In the 6th round, of a brutal attack. You see, Bojack had the audacity to clip Ike Williams with a famous bolo punch, knock out his front tooth. And Ike Williams would go ballistic on Bojack, open up a 35-punch combination unanswered, leading him all the way to the corner, looking at the referee for one last chance for Bojack. And he would open up a combination beyond belief. Ike Williams was a vicious, vicious banger. But he would eventually become lightweight champion when he would defeat Juan Zarita. On the undercard of that fight, you would have Dan Bassaroni, who's 14-0, versus Dick Wagner. You also had Roland Estraza, who's 24-0, versus Gene Rowland. He was 38-11. June 19th, 1946. Joe Louis would face Billy Conn in a rematch after the war. Now, that ticket sale would gross 1,925,564 ticket sales. It would have 45,266 at attendance. We have 14-5 odds in favor of Joe Louis. And Joe Louis would knock out Billy Conn in the 8th round with a vicious uppercut and left hook combination. July 21, 1927, Jack Dempsey would face Jack Sharkey. It'd be a ticket sales of 1,083,530. 75 in the audience. 75,000 seat capacity. See, Yankee Stadium would hold some of the greatest fights in boxing history. June 22nd, 1928, Joe Louis would face Max Schmeling on a rematch. June 22nd, 1938. And it'll be the second match between these two men. The prices would sell $1,015,012. 70,043 in the audience had witnessed a first-round brutal attack on Max Schmeling. See, odds were 9-5 in favor of Joe Louis. One of the most brutal body punches, beautiful combinations on the ropes that Joe Louis would land on Max Schmeling. September 24th, 1935, Joe Louis would face Max Baer. $1,832 would be gross receipts. 88,150 in the audience. That's incredible. September 21st, 1955. You had the Brockton blockbuster, Rocky Marciano, the old Mongoose, Archie Moore. The ticket sales were 948,117. 61,574 in the audience. The seat capacity was astonishing because you're looking at the Korean War at this time. There was 6-5 odds in favor of Rocky Marciano. That's pretty close. Referee was Harry Kessler. Rocky Marciano would knock out Archie Moore in the 9th round after being dropped in the first round himself. An exciting fight that was. June 25th, 1949. Joe Louis would face Jersey Joe Walcott. 8,401. 739. 61,574 people in the stands were screaming and couldn't believe the outcome. Just 13-5 odds to Joe Louis. And Joe Walcott would be knocked out with a beautiful combination. You see, the first fight was very controversial, and most observers thought that Walcott had won the fight. So they knew this would bring out all the boxing fans. And it did. June 20th, 1960, Ingemar Johansson would have a rematch with Floyd Patterson after he would defeat him and become World Heavyweight Champion himself. 824,814 ticket sales. 31,892 seat capacity. Phenomenal fight that one was. Beautiful knockout by Floyd Patterson would cause the left leg and the foot was shake of Ingemar Johansson. The first bout, June 12, 1930, of Max Schmeling and Jack Sharkey. 749,935 ticket sales. 79,222 were attendance in the audience. 6-5 odd favor in Max Schmeling. Now, just to give you a perspective, Comiskey Park, June 22nd, 1935, Joe Louis and Jimmy Braddock. 5-2 odds in favor of Jimmy Braddock. And Joe Louis would knock out Jimmy Braddock in the 8th round and become the second black heavyweight champion of all times. And all the colored titles, from heavyweight to lightweight, would disappear. Because they could not have a world champion and colored titles out there at the same time by black fighters. They would not allow that. In their eyes, that would be considered insult to injury. July 26, 1928, Gene Tunney would face Tom Heaney of New Zealand. That would be Gene Tunney's last heavyweight championship fight. It'll be 691,014 ticket sales. 45,890. The odds were 15-1 of Gene Tunney. 45,890 attendees. This is all at Yankee Stadium. First fight, June 19th, 1936. Max Schmeling versus Joe Louis. 547,541 ticket sales. 42,088. It was a first round knockout. And 37 right hands landed on Joe Louis. 12 round knockout in favor of Max Schmeling. And Joe Louis would be down and out after trying to climb up the ropes. He was so dizzy he just fell on his stomach and shook his head and couldn't continue. He was being counted every time he would drop his left jab. June 22nd, 1938, 70,043 ticket sales. 1,015,012 ticket sales. It was 70,043 in attendance. Ringside tickets were $40. It would be a brutal first round knockout. And Max Schmeling couldn't take the punishment. And he would be knocked out in the very first round. Now, the first fight, June 17, 1954, Rocky Marciano would face Ezzard Charles. And Ezzard Charles would cut up the nose of Rocky Marciano. It was a brutal fight, went the distance. But it was 543,092. 47,585 attendance. 15-round victory for Rocky Marciano. But he suffered cut, swollen eye, and he remained dizzy for 2 days. He would eventually give Ezzard Charles a rematch, and Charles would be stopped. First bout, June 26, 1959, Ingemar Johansson and Floyd Patterson. 470,717 ticket sales. 18,215 seat capacity. Ingemar Johansson would defeat Floyd Patterson and become the heavyweight champion of the world in Yankee Stadium. June 25th, 1952, Max Schmeling. Joey Maxim. June 25th, 1952, Joey Maxim and Sugar Ray Robinson would fight in Yankee Stadium. $421,615 worth of ticket sales. 47,983 were in attendance. And the heat would be 104 at ringside. A thermometer was placed in the ring. Ruby Goldstein was the referee. He could not continue, and they would replace him with Ray Miller from Chicago. And Ray Robinson could not continue after the 13th round. He was exhausted. Potassium ran out his body. He was ahead on all scorecards. Joey Maxim was no match for Sugar Ray Robinson, but he brags until the very end that he was in the same heat and he didn't have that problem. But Joey Maxim doesn't understand that was his natural weight. Now, this fight took place in 1952. Ray Robinson had won the middleweight championship strap February 14th, 1951, against Jake LaMotta. It was known as the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. It was 13 rounds. It took a lot out of Robinson. Robinson would go on, have his European tour, and he would lose his strap to Randy Turpin. It went to full 15 rounds. Then he would come back at the Polo Grounds and have a rematch with Randy Turpin. He would knock out Randy Turpin. Then he would immediately go and have a European tour, 3 different cities, and he would be exhausted. In his 7th title defense, he would face Randy Turpin, and he would lose his strap. He would come back and knock out Randy Turpin. Then he would face Joey Maxim. It went 13 rounds. Actually, he couldn't come out for the 14th round, but his legs were spent. And that's the difference when you move up in weight and you're not in condition. And even if you're a better fighter, these kinds of things can sometimes happen. May 12, 1923. Louis Angel Firpo. McAuliffe. 385,000. 40 ticket sales. 31,000 in attendance. June 27th, 1929. Max Schmeling and Paulino Escudon. 378,902 ticket sales. 65,000 seat capacity. Second bout, September 17th, 1954. Rocky Marciano and Ezzy Charles. 352,654 ticket sales. 35,330. So far, all these fights took place in Yankee Stadium. Yankee Stadium was a tradition of boxing at one point. And eventually you would have Miguel Cotto would be the last fighter to fight at Yankee Stadium. September 18th, 1946, Joe Louis and Tommy Mariello. Tommy Mariello was from the Bronx, New York. 335,063 ticket sales. 38,494. And Tommy Mariello claimed that he brought in most of the spectators. June 28th, 1939, Joe Louis and two-ton Tony Galento. $333,308 in ticket sales. Incredible for that time. 34,852 spectators. 8-1 odds in favor of Joe Louis. Now keep in mind, Joe Louis has signed in 1937 to face Jimmy Braddock for that title, and he was giving up 10% of his earnings. Now, although these are amazing numbers, but Joe Louis will be losing 10% off the top before Uncle Sam to Jimmy Braddock. June 25th, 1935, Joe Louis and Primo Carnera, 328,655 ticket sales, 62,000 capacity seats were sold. August 30th, 1935. August 30th, 1937, Joe Louis and Tommy Farr. First title defense after defeating Jim Braddock. 325,707 ticket sales. 32,000 in attendance. 5-1 odds in favor of Joe Louis. September 26, 1929, Jack Sharkey and Tommy Loughran. 254,501 ticket sales. 35,000 in attendance. June 8th, 1933, Max Baer and Max Schmeling. 239,193 ticket sales. 55,000 in attendance. May 20th, 1927, Jack Sharkey and Jim Maloney. 232,199 ticket sales. 24,058 in attendance. July 28th, 1952, Rocky Marciano and Harry Kid Matthews. 215,708 ticket sales. 31,188 in attendance. June 10th, 1926, Paul Berlenbach and Jan Stribling. 387 ticket sales. I'll repeat that. 213,387 ticket sales. 55,000 in an audience. September 26, 1929, Jack Sharkey and Tommy Loughran. 254,501 ticket sales. 35,000 in attendance. September 27th, 1950, Joe Louis and Ezra Charles. 205,307 ticket sales. 13,562. It was on the undercard, you had Elkins Brothers. He was an up-and-coming heavyweight. In the second bout on June 20th, 1940, Joe Louis and Arturo Godoy from Chile. 164,120 ticket sales. 26,640 in attendance. August 18th, 1936, Joe Louis and Jack Sharkey. 159,616. I'll repeat that. August 18th, 1936, Joe Louis and Jack Sharkey. 159,916 ticket sales. 27,374 in attendance. July 18th, 1929, James Braddock and Tommy Loughran, 140,519 ticket sales, 19,658. I want you to soak in the information I'm giving you. This is incredible. June 27th, 1951, Irish Bob Murphy and a Bronx Bull, Jake LaMotta, 116,690 ticket sales, 21,257. Now keep in mind, Jake LaMotta had already lost his middleweight championship strap February 14th that year, 1951. And he begins to move up to the light heavyweight division. He takes on tough Irish Bob Murphy. Incredible. Carmen Basilio and Sugar Ray Robinson. Robinson lost the title to welterweight champion Carmen Basilio. Carmen Basilio would upload more than 20 unanswered punches while having Ray Robinson up against the ropes. 38,000 in the crowd in Yankee Stadium. September 23rd, 1957, Ray Robinson and Randy Turpin. 556,467. 38,072 in an audience. Now this was at the Polo Grounds. July 24th, 1923, Benny Leonard and Lou Tendler. 452,684. I'm going to repeat that. 452,648 ticket sales. 58,519. Let me give you a few more stats, because I want you to understand what Yankee Stadium had produced in the game of boxing. September 27, 1946. Tony Zale and Rocky Graziano, their very first fight was held at Yankee Stadium. 342,492 ticket sales. Now this was right after the war. 39,827 were attending. Rocky Graziano would be knocked out in the 6th round by Tony Zale. September 8th, 1950, Willie Pep and Sandy Sadler. 262,150 ticket sales, 38,751 was in attendance. It would be a 7th round TKO. Referee, Ray Miller. September 21st, 1925, Mickey Walker and Dave Shade, 185,156 ticket sales, 32,010 in an audience. I'm going to repeat that. September 21st, 1925, Mickey Walker, Dave Shade, 185,156 ticket sales. This boggles the mind. June 26, 1924, Harry Greb, Memphis Powell Moore, 200,000 ticket sales, 45,000 in an audience. July 17, 1930, Al Singer, Sammy Mandel, 162,388 ticket sales, 163 in an audience. September 11th, 1930, Jimmy McLaurin and Al Singer, 162,349 ticket sales, 28,355 in an audience. The second bout between Henry Armstrong and Lou Ambers took place August 22nd, 1939, in Yankee Stadium. 137,925 ticket sales, 29,088 in attendance audience. Muhammad Ali, Ken Norton, 15 rounds, 1976. Most thought that Kenny Norton defeated Muhammad Ali. Ali would be given the victory. Be in front of a crowd of 30,298 spectators. Yankee Stadium and Madison Square Garden, both located in New York, one in the Bronx and one in Manhattan, created some of the greatest fights in boxing history. Now this is a historic look at the monuments of Yankee Stadium. And this is the house that Babe Ruth built. Because Babe Ruth actually stated he wanted to relocate the stadium. He wanted to be on a team that had their own stadium. And he was part of the negotiations of where the stadium would be held. Joe Louis knocks out Max Schmeling. Referee Arthur Donovan sends Joe Louis to a neutral corner. 1938, first round knockout. New York's Yankee Stadium. Sugar Ray Robinson would lose to Carmen Basilio, who was welterweight champion of the world. Carmen Basilio would become champion. He would defeat Johnny Saxton of Newark, New Jersey, and Boston's Tony DeMarco. He would defeat Sugar Ray Robinson, but lose in a rematch. Ray Robinson would beat him with a brutal attack in a second fight. But Carmen Basilio would throw the kitchen sink at Ray Robinson against the ropes. Quite a fight series these two men would have. And this fight would be held at Yankee Stadium. Rocky Marciano, 1955, would face Archie Moore in defense of his heavyweight championship strap. He would take this title in 1952, Jersey Joe Walcott, with a bodacious right hand, perfectly timed. I'm Scrapbook Boxing, and I wanted to go over the history of Yankee Stadium with you. Some of the greatest fights were held at Yankee Stadium. Thanks for hanging in there with me. All great fights and all great fighters will never be forgotten on my channel. Salute to these great fighters that fought at Yankee Stadium. Salute to my subscribers. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Peace.